and all of our credit, we're about $500,000 in debt.
Oh my goodness. How much consumer debt do you have outside of the mortgage?
We have 127 in credit card.
127 in credit cards?
This video is for anybody who thinks that they cannot make it because of their debt. If you think you're too far behind in life because of your debt, all these instances are unfortunately super, super common. We're looking at Caleb Hammer, Dave Ramsey, and a couple other videos on people and how they deal with their debt. Some of these are the most outrageous amounts of debt I've seen for people, and it ranges from student loans, vehicles, credit cards, all of the above. Absolutely wild. So let's go ahead and take a look. This first one is insane, but they even get worse. The last one being the absolute worst.
Your debt in total, $210,000. That's a mortgage. And these are like 8, 15, 5, balloon percentages.
Yeah.
This is insane. And you don't think this is that bad? You don't think that number is that bad?
The number sounds bad, but...
Since you're not willing to say it, I need her to know behind me. This is bad.
Yeah, this is scary. Caleb Hammer, for those that don't know, he does financial audit. This is his TikTok, and he goes through people's finances, and it's terrifying what he finds. Sometimes there's loans that are like an APR of like 60%. Yeah, that was the most recent one. A girl had a loan that she was getting 60% interest on. Absolutely insane. $210,000 a year. He's like 26, 27. Wild. Absolutely wild, but check this next one out.
This is ruining his family tree. He doesn't even know it. He thinks he's gotten a good deal.
These are
he's
awful.
So excited he's sharing it on social media. One person purchased
This is from TikTok too.
Tahoe with a $2,550 a month payment on an 84-month term. That's almost a decade.
It's a depreciating asset.
Another person bought
That is insane. He's paying more than my mortgage on his car. How?
a 2023 Sierra.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Nice vehicle.
Oh, with a $3,000 a month payment, and he was locked in to a
96 months. 96 months.
Look, there's the prayer hands. Why did they gotta put? Listen. And
look at this. Look too. Also, wait. It has the comments to likes. 61 likes, 226 comments. People know. They're warning them.
God didn't have nothing to do with that. You did that. That is not a blessing.
Gosh. Hey, can we just say, Tahoe? I would love to have Tahoe. A brand new Sierra Denali. I'd love that car. I can't imagine signing up for a 96-month term.
And here's the thing, John.
On a depreciating asset.
I can't even get into the people that would sign for this. Like the guys in the photos or whoever. Their level of financial literacy is clearly very, very low. And they need shows like The Ramsey Show.
Yeah.
But whoever sold them this, I have questions about your integrity. And
I actually agree with that. But okay,
well,
I mean, what are they going to do? People have to make money. I understand that these people can't afford these vehicles. And also, I mean, it's risky enough for the people selling them because they're going to default on these loans. There's no way you can pay $3,000. There's no way. Honestly, maybe they're super rich, but
because you are not doing work that matters. You're doing work that causes pain. I mean, this is horrible. Just because you can get something doesn't mean you should get it. That's really the lesson here. Just because you can get it doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean it was a blessing. It makes me think of that verse, and all you're getting, get understanding and get wisdom. This is not wise. And just going out to get things because you can get it, because you can purchase. And on the other side, just making the sale because you can make it and because they're willing to sign. Each of those, there's responsibility on both sides of that scale. The consumer has a responsibility, and the person selling on the other end has a responsibility to society to do better.
Here's the part that's making me sick to my stomach is people watch TV and they watch TikTok and they watch Instagram and they have this vision, and maybe they know one guy at their church or one guy at their office or two guys at their office, and they know that person's rich, whatever rich means, and that person who's rich has car.
Yeah, I mean, this one's crazy. This is just insane. He goes on to talk about it, how you see rich people and how you the typical Dave Ramsey jargon, and I'm not dissing it. I don't think you should try to live more beyond your means, but these are just insane. It's like hard to do. They'd probably loan me that amount of money, but it's tough. The bank would not loan me that amount of money for a house. There's no way. It is actually insane. I wonder what their income is. I'd love for them to go on Financial Audit or go on one of these shows and see exactly what money they're making, because that's just wild. This one is actually probably the most heartbreaking call into Dave Ramsey's show.
My wife and I are in a very difficult situation. I'm 71. I'll be 72 next month. My wife
Retirement
is
age.
56. This past summer, in the heat of the summer, our air conditioning went out completely, and it's going to cost us almost $14,500 to get a new furnace and everything. Can finance it'll be almost be about a $175 a month for 10 years. Additionally, my wife took out parent loan for our daughter to go to college. I was adamantly opposed to it, but her philosophy is she's my baby and I love her. She still owes over $100,000 on that. Our daughter went to a private school in New York, and I'm 71 now. I'll be 72 next month. I have to go back to work. I took an early retirement a few years ago, but all I'm getting is a
Early
small
retirement.
Social Security check because my salaries were always low.
What does the household
My
income
wife
add
is
up to right now?
AGI is less than 100,000, and my wife is 66. She says at her age, if she were to get a Connecticut teaching certificate, nobody would hire her. Who wants a 66-year-old
I
woman?
don't buy that one.
Now, I'm looking at going back to work, whether it's full-time or part-time, preferably full-time, because, like I said, I need the money.
What,
And
how much do you guys
some of the
have that's
places,
liquid?
We have bills up to our eyeballs.
You have more debt than the Parent Plus loans and this 14.5 HVAC?
Yes,
What else?
credit cards, of course, and it's about $70,000.
Oh.
Goodness gracious. What's left
Okay,
on the
okay.
mortgage?
I feel bad for him. He should have already been working. If you have that much credit card debt and you're making Social Security money, already should have been working. Her
Probably
too.
about 200 and something.
So we need to clean up this debt. And so I'm going to start with the smallest balance to largest. I'm going to try to... Can your daughter make the payment on these student loans?
She won't do it.
Why?
She says it's the parent's responsibility to pay for the child's education.
Boom. That is the absolute worst thing a child could ever do to their parents. I cannot. When I first saw this one, I was in shock that someone would do that to their parents. And I just think about my parents. Even if you have a terrible relationship with your parents and they loan you $100,000, not loan you, but sign for a loan, to not pay them back and leave that on 72, and her dad is. But to be honest, it's just stupid. There's no nice way to say that. They were all stupid. She was stupid for taking out $100,000 for school. They were stupid for doing it for her. There is no smart person in this situation, and they're gonna have to dig themselves out of it. And he's 72, and he is gonna work until he dies, which is just that's my worst fear.
I paid
Goodness
for all of my
gracious.
education.
Who taught
Yes,
her
I know.
that? Mom?
How did you guess?
Oh my goodness.
Mom is stupid.
$200,000 outside of the mortgage that you guys owe if you're taking on these Parent Plus loans while making 90. And you're already almost 72, Bill. And so we've got to make some big decisions. You got to go make $25 an hour at least, 40 hours a week. To
Yeah,
help,
for
but
10
you
years.
need your wife on the same page first. You're not going to make any progress when you're trying to do this on your own. And you need to have that hard conversation with your daughter and say, listen, Mom and Dad are broke. And unless you want to be taking care of us for the next 20 years, we need to clean up our mess, and you need to clean up these student loans.
My wife and I are in a
That's one of the worst ones I've ever watched. It's not even the most money. It's just one of the worst ones I've ever watched. Heartbreaking. This one is a guy saying what it's like living with $130K in student loan debt for 10 years. And I'm probably going to get copyright stricken for the music, which is fine. I don't really care. But he says, yeah, he's just trying to survive, living his life, emotional. Yeah. 130K in student loans is wild. People are making a lot of videos like this. There's also a lot of videos of pushback against even paying student loans with all the discussion of if they're going to be forgiven or not. It's actually crazy. The comments are always really funny. That's why I went to community college. My partner has 330. There's no way. 330. That's the thing, though. Okay, I don't know. It looks like he has a marketing degree. He doesn't have I would assume he's not a doctor. I'm assuming he doesn't have a PhD. Maybe he has a master's. Why would you take out that much money in loans for a job that's not going to pay you that much? It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. You guys, we have to be careful, and we have to educate younger people. And I went to school. I went to a private school. I paid too much for my education. I understand that. I didn't know in the moment, but I would have known if I had $130K coming out of it. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. And I believe, yeah, someone spoke about his father on here having a ton of debt as well, and it's just absolutely insane. People who are adults, 40, 50, 60, living with debt still from their student loans. Absolutely wild. We have to try and end this problem. Or Caleb Hammer.
And you're pretty much financially right now, but guys, this is all consumer, well, except for the little medical debt. So taking away the medical debt, this is all consumer bull crap debt, and we're at $120,000. $120,000 of consumer death, bull, high interest rate for the most part, death. This is the worst I have ever seen in terms of consumer debt. I would be honestly relatively ashamed at that number, to be very clear. That is a road that no one should ever go down, and this is something you guys need to turn around ASAP, or the future is not a future. I'm just being as real and honest as possible. And
I believe they have kids too. They're a couple. I believe they had kids. Yeah, I mean, Caleb Hammer, this is who people, they're saying he's the Dave Ramsey of the younger generation because he just brings people on his show and he just destroys them. To be honest, this is my dream job. This is what I would love to do, but I don't think I could say it to their faces. I am a relatively blunt person, but the way he yells at people, but oh my gosh, does it make for entertaining content. Great stuff. Check him out. All right, we have the final video. And this one is the most debt out of all of them. And it's not even the most that we've had call into the Dave Ramsey show, but still.
With our house and all of our credit, we're about $500,000 in debt.
Oh my goodness. How much consumer debt do you have outside of the mortgage?
We have 127 in credit card.
127 in credit cards?
Yeah, 127,000 in credit cards.
What did you put on these cards?
Stuff for the house, helping out our kids, vacations that we shouldn't have gone on.
What's the interest rate on these?
The majority of them, they vary between 12 and 18%.
You're
crazy.
$500 million in debt. At what point does it stop for you?
It has to stop.
Right.
Because we want to retire in 5 years, and we know it's not possible.
Right.
If we don't change.
No, it's not possible if you do change.
Whatever it takes.
So what is your household income?
We bring in monthly, about $13,000.
So much money.
And what is your total minimum payments on all of the debt that you have, consumer debt?
About $4,700.
Oh my gosh.
Are you able to put an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on top of that to pay it off?
Oh, that's what we were going to do, starting with the smallest first.
Good.
But considering I owe almost $80,000 on this car, we thought we could get rid of it, and that would take a huge chunk out.
How much upside down are you?
About $22,000.
And are you sure of that? Because you said the dealership said they'd buy it for this amount. Well, the dealership's going to lowball you comparatively to a private party sale.
I
Always.
haven't tried private party. The balance we owe is about $80,000, and when I go through Kelley Blue Book, it's between 55 and 60. It's about it. And the car dealership is offering us 58 because it's a 2023 with really low miles on it.
Okay. Well, we want to get as much for this car as we can to shrink that gap. Do you guys have any money in the bank?
Just $1,000.
What is the house worth?
This gets worse and worse.
It's worth about $424.
And what do you owe on the mortgage?
$273.
Okay. And what was your total consumer debt load? I had cut you off. What's the total of all the consumer debt combined?
of everything is, not including the house,
Not
is
included.
233.
This
Oh,
might be one of those situations where you make the ultimate sacrifice of selling the house. You'll clear about 150, maybe 130 after fees, and that gets you down to 100,000 in debt.
okay. Here's the thing. This is where I differ with some of the things that Dave Ramsey and them say. I think it's better if you have a low interest rate and you have a low monthly payment. It's better to stay in the house and just stop spending all the other money on everything else. Sell the car, live on one car, dual incomes, get multiple jobs, because your house, not only is it security, which I understand they can't afford security, but if you're not able to replace how much you're paying in your mortgage, after, like, say 2-3 years down the line, if your mortgage, like my parents, their mortgage when they bought their house was like $1,300, which is not a lot of money. Now you rent a place for $1,300. So that's what I mean. If they're never going to be able to get back in a house and they can leave that equity in their house, I would do that and just do every other thing you can to pay stuff off. Just honestly, it's so hard to watch. Hopefully they get out of it. I in 5 years, retirement's not a possibility. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Always lets me know if you guys hit the like button and if you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.